ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಹೈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಶನಿವಾರ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಯಾವುದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ನಾವು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಭಾನುವಾರ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬುಧವಾರ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ, ಇವಾಗಲೂ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಹೋದೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಜೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಥರ ಅವ್ರ ಹಾಬಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ 6 months ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಧ್ಯಾನ, ಯೋಗ, ಆಸನ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಷ್ಟು. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೋಡಿಯಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ಒಂದು 10 ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಆಂಗ್ಸೈಟಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಬೇಕು? 6 weeks ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡಿ, ನಾನು ಪ್ರೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ಗಡಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಭಾಳ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ ನಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್? ನೋ ವೇ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್, ಬೆಟರ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಇಟ್. The way he said it, why not? If you want to become a doctor, 5 years or 4.5 years ನಾನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೀವೇನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಕಲಿಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. I said, I am gay, what should I do? Today is Thursday, now you come on such and etc. This is how I enter into the thing which I was avoiding all through my life till then. The story is different afterwards. I've left many things in my life. Friends, I could not meet them. Many times my work has made me give up my food, lunch, dinner, everything, because I was so busy with that. I left my sleep many times. Many things I left it. But believe it or not, since 1973, I have not left even a single day in my meditation. That's an addiction, is it? I'm addicted to that.
Good addiction.
It just happened. Not that religiously I was looking for that thing, no. It so happened that I never missed that. Wherever I went, I was able to do that. That is the beginning. But still, I was not too sure to talk to my professionals. You see, they're all psychologists, psychiatrists, for instance, neurologists, etc. I can't quote my experience. Look, I was against meditation. I started doing meditation. I have this. It's a single individual experience. No scientist will buy for it. It should be an objective verification, repetition of the experiment. Quite a lot of your scientists here, you would know what science demands from you. I thought I would do some research on this before I talk to my professionals. Because when I know that it is benefiting me and 2 or 3 patients it benefited, I have no qualms. I must really reach out to these things. How to, any scientific study start with a hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? TM people say dhyana is relaxation. That's the only mantra. Even today they say that one. Relaxation, it relaxes you. Where is it? Where it is said? Because the sentence I should know. It's in Upanishad, it's in Veda. Where is it? I didn't find. Relaxation as a hypothesis of spirituality, I did not find. Samatvam Yoga Uchita I found in Bhagavad Gita. It's, balance. Samatvam Yoga Uchita. So, what is the hypothesis I should put? I put that only, Samatvam Yoga Uchita. I put a lot of physiological parameters, EEG I took, ECG I took, pulse rate, skin potential, there is one measure of that, several physiological measures. Before and after meditation, and also with the patient. To cut the story short, strange result I got it, which would rather agree with Samatvam Yoga Vajita rather than relaxation approach. I'm not blaming him. I'll tell you why he said relaxation also. Where did Mahesh Yogi started his work? United States? What was that? They said even today. tension, keeping up with the Joneses from morning to evening. You will never see anybody lady there, as you find here even at 11 o'clock. Work, competition, etc. So they are one extreme, excitation, arousal, agitation. What should Adhyatma should do to them? Bring them down. That is why Maheshwari discovered on his laboratory relaxation. They get relaxed, etc. If you find a person, that was my hypothesis, if you find a person who is after all excited, plenty you will find in our country. Nothing really moves them, almost not motivated at all. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು 2 ದಿವಸ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ದುಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ. ನೋ ಆಂಗ್ಸೈಟಿ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. Those who come to meditation are those who are agitated, who are worried, who are tense, who are disturbed, who are frustrated. ಇವರು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಏನು ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ ಲೇಜಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಹಾಗೆ. ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ನನಗೇನು ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಅಂತ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವನು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಈ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. Strangely, as I predicted, his heart rate, his pulse rate started increasing when he started meditation. He said, "Again, Martha, no, it's good for you. As you grow up now, nobody will look at you with your laziness." Later on, he became an extraordinarily short story writer. He was working in a very well-known, popular Kannada daily. He is no more now. See, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, for those who are at the lower lack of motivation, laziness, etc., meditation increases their activity so that they become useful to themselves. Optimization potential. High becomes down, low. That's the effect I found why people improve a tranquilizer in demands. What does the tranquilizer do? Your agitation, it brings it down, as the meditation does. For the other group of people who are not agitated at all, they need to be little agitated to lead a life. They can't afford to be lazy, lack of motivation. It increases the one. Hats off to Gita, this particular statement, optimization of human potential, it does. Karma idare jasti madutte, jasti idare karma madutte. This was started presented in one of those international congresses. Thank God. This is, I want to start to speak to scientists. This is how my entry into spirituality, the domain of spirituality, etc. Then, of course, as I said, I need to study with a regular guru. It's not a joke, at least 6 to 7 years. Earlier days it was 12 years, the study of Veda. Now at least 5 to 6 years study is available, which also fairly compares with the 12, 13. No, I have not done that. Mine was just to understand myself and the world in which I am living. If existentialism helps me, yes. I studied existentialism for nearly 5 years intensely. If Upanishad helped me, yes, I studied that. It's only very, very personal. Several questions are bothering me. I would like to know where the answer is getting. So not to really talk to people about Veda or Upanishad or meditation. No, I didn't study that way at all. It's only for my personal benefit. Let me share with you some of these personal benefits and close it today's talk. Why this is required, spirituality today, as I understand. More than anything else today, although somebody remarked in the Facebook when I announced that I am going to speak today. No, not only for today and tomorrow that spirituality is required, even from the beginning it was required. He's right. But I thought, past is past, there is no point in that. Let me also tell you one thing. One girl, maybe a lady also, Facebook friends, you don't see them. She was terribly agitated. Just before I leave, I was reading to a person who brought me here. In my mobile it was there. She says, "What? You are going to give a lecture on spirituality? What is spirituality, sir? Believing in God?" I and my mom believed in God totally devoted to God. What happened? Unexpectedly, my mother died out of illness. She was so devoted to God, and those who trust God, those who surrender to God, He will take care. That's what you people say. He didn't take care. I died. She died. This is the most popular concept, isn't it? 99% of people think that God is there out, watching you, helping you, guiding you, provided you tune yourself to God. Sorry. Spirituality, as I understand, is nothing to do with that. little extreme statement I am telling you, but it is true. Look at that girl. Well, it's a very common thing that she said. In the light of these, what I discovered, the spirituality to be very important. It is not because that there is a particular like anxiety, for that meditation is required spirituality. No, I am not talking about that. I am not far beyond all those things. Or there is a social level, discrimination for instance, inequality for instance, violence for instance. ये तो होता है बाद में, but that is the much more primary thing for spirituality, need for spirituality. What is that? I discovered that you cannot be anybody without it. A scientist, a businessman, a father, a husband, a wife, whatever it is. If you want to be effective, you have to be spiritual. Yogastha, Guru, Karmani. Do all your action. Yogastha, sit and meditate and close your eyes. No, he didn't say that, Krishna. Yogastha, Guru, Karmani. Do all your action in being in a state of yoga. All your action, it is not to, and who did he tell that? Warrior, Arjuna. He didn't tell you to a medicant in the Himalayas. That struck me like anything. This is what I want to share with you. This is the thing which should be ingrained into every one of them, because reality consists of both. Shaurya Maharshi, question that is asked in the Mandukya Upanishad, for which, or he is like, perhaps like me, he was a very lazy fellow. He asked the teacher, "Sir, tell me, by knowing which I can know everything." For which he said, he starts that. There are two types of knowledge, two types of education, you can say, in a very loose way. Para, apara. Para is spiritual, apara, material. You wonder why I so easily use that. There is a big discussion on these two words. I deliberately use this because later on in the Ishavasya Upanishad, there's a beautiful statement again there. If you know para only, there are two types of knowledge I told you. You are a blinding fool, andattama. If you know only apara, if you know only apara, you are a blinding fool. If you know only para, you are even more blinding fool. What a beautiful statement. Veda ubayam saha. Know both together, material and spiritual. Why do you say apara material? In the Ishavasya Upanishad that we showed, those who know that may not do objection to mine. Vidya, avidya, it is said there, not para. Vidya and avidya. Avidya is what? Veda upayam saha means vidya, avidya, both you know. Why should you know avidya? So avidya is not ignorance, I am sorry. Avidya is apara vidya. Like us, they also have a craze for shortening it, abbreviation. Apara vidya is translated avidya. It is material science. What most of the universities all over the world studies is apara vidya. That's one thing only. Why do I say this? What is this apara then? Consists of 8 things according to Krishna. Bhumira, Paunalo, Vayu, Kammano, Buddhi, Revacha. What is matter? Panchabhuta, you all know that. Space, fire, earth, etc. 8, he says. That's the beauty of all Eastern thought. Mind is also included in matter. No Western thought you will find this. Bhumi, that is earth, Apa, Anila, Vayu, Bhumira, Vayu, Kam, that is space, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha, mind and intelligence. These are all apara. Apareya, Mitas, Anyam, other than this apara, I have another nature, that is para. It's the same talk continues in the Gita. I am not telling anything, I was only repeating Gita. So look at the consistency there from Mandukya Upanishads to Ishavasya Upanishads to Bhagavad Gita. It's very consistent of talking about these two. Para, apara. Material and spiritual. They are together, they can never be separated. How do you say? Go to the physics now, especially nuclear quantum physics in particular. They rebel against these things. You go to atom, break again atom, they have broken already. You get some 100 and little more now, subatomic particles. What does it consist of? Only 1% of the space there. Rest are empty. What does this emptiness mean? You know, Eisenberg, etc., they remembered Gita, one of the slokas of Gita, Sastra Koti, Surya Prakash, whatever it is. Why? Because the para that as they inquired, suddenly they had to come across when you go deeper into para. Every para element, apara element, material, has a para inside it. You don't have to go anywhere else. So, knowing both, you have a correct knowledge of reality. Of a stone is a reality, husband is a reality, father is a reality, space is a reality, water is a reality. If you want to understand water, if you want to understand father, material part is one such, his body, his thoughts, because according to Krishna, mind is also matter, mind you. Papa's mind, Papa's intelligence, Papa's body, Papa's gesture, Papa's activities, you only 20 to 30% of Papa. But if you tune in to the spiritual dimension, you know the whole of Papa. So my fundamental reason why one should become spiritual or know spirituality is, reality is not understood as a businessman, as a scientist, as a parent. The reality with which you are interacting is not understood completely if you don't reckon with both. How to do that? How to relate to that? I'll come to that. I'm basically a practitioner of clinical psychology. I can't end anything with theory or any hypothesis alone. I'm an in and out practical man. And the joy that I found in understanding people by combining these two in one go is something which I can never forget in my life. It's one of the best moments in my life. And that is a part of my practice as well, part of my success as well. That's what I want to share with you in the remaining period. So that's what I told you. It's not mine in the one that I'm familiar. Actually, every religion, every scripture has similar like this. I can only share with what I am familiar with. And I did find in many other religions also this kind of a thought. It's nothing new. Anyway, so from the Upanishad to these two types of para apara, which is actually material and the spiritual part of it. And they also include Veda Vyamsa. Both you should know together, not one after the other. This is one fundamental element in what I understand as spirituality. Now let's come to the spiritual material. I don't have to. We have ever in that for the last 150 years. We are super in material. We mean not only Indians, all over the world. If you take science as such, great thing has been discovered. There's no doubt about it. Very few, some 10% of the scientists in the search for the truth about the matter, like a hot potato, they encode with the spirituality. That you know, some of you know that. I don't want to elaborate on that particular aspect because I will have to convince you on those things. Having said this, that these are the two things every scientist should have an inkling of spirituality. A merely spiritual person should also have an inkling about this Aparavidya. Otherwise, he is Andartama, he is a blinding fool. Together, of course, we can be most effective. That's what Krishna said. Yogatta Guru Karmani. Why? Yoga Karmasu Kaushadam. Yoga is skill in action, not something discovering God. But what is the basic thing? It's a skill in action. Who doesn't want skill in action? A cook wants skill in action, otherwise you will cut your finger while cutting a carrot. What does it do? Then, what is the spirituality? That's the worst thing that is taking place today. Everybody is talking about spirituality. Sorry, spirituality can never be talked about. Then how do I communicate with that? I am Atma Pravachanina Labhyo Na Medaya Na Bhavana Shrutena Katopanishad. This particular thing, the spirituality that I am talking about, Atma, he said, that's related to the core of spirituality. It cannot be known by Pravachana, by discourse. Na Medaya, even your intelligence cannot do that. Na Bhavana Shrutena, by listening to many Pandits, you can approximate this. This is from the Upanishad itself. Then it can never be said, approach that. Why? Because speaking, mind, is a matter. Matter cannot approximate spiritual. Matter is the one you use words, labels, without which you can't understand. Nama, Rupa, that's the stuff with which matter is made. Moment you label it, you are sectioning off reality, not taking the total reality. Gone, reality is gone. You are freezing it, it's a free flow, you are freezing it to it for your analysis, and you have killed it. Although it cannot be labeled, it cannot be worded spirituality, but it can be wholly experienced. You can provide that experience also to the people. Meditation is one such, in any case. If you want to see what happens in meditation, if you want to really put your mind into that, please don't you ever do that. You are not meditating. Meditation is to silence your chitta, vritti, nirodha. Silencing of the mind means what? All the eight. Moment you silent it, apara with anyam, other than apara which is there, that is para. Spirituality just springs forth like a fountain. Suddenly, provided you have time down. Meditation, one that yoga, Patanjali was quoting Chitta Vritti Nirodha. He talked about 8 steps. It's not steps, sorry, limbs. It has to be used simultaneously, not one after the other. If you do asanas and then start pranayama, asana itself it takes about 10 to 15 years to perfect it. By the time you come to pranayama, you are 70 or 80 years old. He never meant that. He said, simultaneously you have to do that. If you want to sing, learn singing. And now I am studying physics, chemistry, mathematics. I have no time at all. After 20 years, I will start singing. Do you think your vocal cord will work after 20 years? It has to be simultaneous right here. Para, apara should be simultaneous right here. One supports the other. If you start separate that and later on you want to relate to that, you can never do that. It's so hard set. Your understanding of matter becomes better if you can dissolve matter for a second at least. According to me, at least 10 minutes every day. If you can dissolve this mind. And then again, with that state, look into the matter. You will become most creative, extraordinary scientist, extraordinary businessman you will become. My own researches, the time for which I also will show you that. How do you say that again? Chitta Vritti Nirodha, I have already brought that. Silencing of the mind. Mind in general, all the 8 is also required then, because at that time, asana is only for that, take care of the body. Dhyana, dharana, your mind, etc. Intellect, dharana for intellect, dhyana for the mind, and so on and so forth. You are all meditators, so you should know that. I will not, don't want to dwell on that. But, what is this? If you want to be really spiritual, I said I can't explain that to you with words. Moment if I do that, I am not talking about spirituality, I am sorry, I am misguiding you. On the other hand, when I say that, reach your silence. How? Patanjali Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, bit difficult, but do that. It's extraordinary, simultaneously you do that. Or classical Buddha. Fantastic. His meditation is simply fantastic. What did he say? Kayanu Pasyan, Vedananu Pasyan, Chittanu Pasyan, Dhammanu Pasyan. Just Pasyan is observe. Just observe your body. You don't do that. Right now you are sitting there, what is happening? To your bottom, to your back, and no, you are not interested because your mind is listening to the knowledge. This is another knowledge. Continuously it is giving you, which I don't know. So, Kayanu Pasyan. Then, Vedananu Pasyan. In the internal sensation. All the 5 senses, 6 senses, 7 senses, vestibular, if you add 7 senses, kinesthetic, not 6 senses means parapsychology I am talking about. Kinesthetic senses is the 6th sense. Anyway, Vedananu Pasyana, as happening, but it's happening inside the body. Pasyana, just observe. See what happens to you, just observe. That's what you do in meditation also. Yeah. So, the third one, Chittanu Pasyana. Now what the thoughts is coming? It's an endless monkey, thoughts continuously come. Just observe. Don't try to control, don't try to inhibit because you want to maintain silence. Don't suppress. You will never be silent. Allow that. When the thought comes, you have become aware that thought has come, slowly come back to self. Mantra, whatever it is that you are given to. Observation, both are said, all the three are said. So, the thought comes, come back to the observation again, when you are engrossed in the thought. That is Chittanu Pashyana, Dhammanu Pashyana. When you start doing all three, the fourth automatically comes. You don't have to do anything there. Here also there is no doing, you know that, you just observe. Dhammanu Pashyana, Dhamma is a Dharma. Rita, order. The whole world, universe, living and non-living, matter and spiritual, has a perfect order, which I don't have to tell to this audience. Everything comes to such an order, it's remarkable. Sun comes in particular, the moon, air, what have you. There is a wonderful order. Observe that. The moment you do that, Yatinam Brahma Bhavati Sarati. For the people, Yati means those who have observed all these things, become a what I call yogi or what you will call them. Brahma Bhavati Sarati, you are charioted by the huge reality because you are tuned into that reality. You don't have to think, you don't have to take any decision. As a businessman, I'm telling you, deliberately I'm using that word. Because you are tuned into the whole reality as such, what all that is related to your immediate focus, it helps you, it is coming to you. Brahma Bhavati Sarati. Brahma in the sense of Brahman. He becomes a charioteer of you. For whom? Yatina. Those who have taken both spiritual and material together. For him, life sits very lightly on his shoulder. It don't become a burden at all for him. That's what I mean by that. Yovai Bhuma Tatsukam. Alpa Nasti. The man who thinks about the big Bhuma, happy. The petty can never be happy. Me, my family, myself, he can never be happy. Bhuma is very big. Not me, my family. Better. Not family, my community. Much better. Not my community, but my region. Even better. Country. Whole universe. More and more you tag yourself to those issues. Madness as they call it. Madness. Thinking other than you. More and more you tag yourself to this bigger and bigger Bhuma, bigger and bigger realities. Happier and happier you become. Why? For the very simple reason that you are tuning into the spiritual aspect of it. Hundreds of examples I can give you this. Why this is so? Because this whole thing cannot be captured by words, by mathematics, by conceptual thing, by left brain. It cannot. That's why let yourself go. And you will see in effect that you have touched that. It is not that it is very vague, theoretical, no. Only I can tell you, using the known tools, such as symbols, language, no, I can't tell you about spirituality. But I can share my experience with you. That's the meaning of satsanga. With you, then you will find out what this is all about. This wholeness with which you are relating cannot be done by your thinking. Thinking is too petty, too small a thing to comprehend the big reality. Let yourself go, silence this. You are already in there. You don't have to go there. You are already in there. But this is preventing. Your thought, your mind is preventing. You are already there, mind you. Already there is the sea of spirituality, we all are there. But continuously our mind is preventing you erecting a wall against that. Drop that. Through meditation. Two major ones I told you. One is Patanjali Yoga, another is Buddha Dhyana. Any of these things helps you to drop that mind, that's all. The moment you do that, you are in the sea of spirituality there. Then you start navigating with that, it starts helping you. The silence part of it, let me take 1 or 2 minutes more than that. I did some studies. I was also studying on psychology, paranormal phenomena and so on for nearly 10 years, as I was doing on meditation for 10 years, and I gave up. I asked the top 5% of success people in different walks of life. Sports, music, art, business. What is that? Tumbo, I think. It's about 20 years ago. My question is very simple. What do you do when you are in crisis? Don't give me theory. Go back to your crisis. Close your eyes. Go back to that crisis. Tell me. Strange thing I said. Ordinary people said, ordinary in the quotation. There is nothing like ordinary people. In the common parlance we say that those who are not really studying material, their study, their job, their work, etc., they never thought that there is anything other than this, which is huge, the spiritual part of it. They said that, well, I am in a crisis, I read more. I consult experts. Much earlier to that, they said, I don't know what